Good morning, students. Welcome back to the world of business studies. We are discussing about chapter 5, organizing, and this is the seventh part of this chapter. Let's have a recap about what we have discussed in our previous session. Students, in our previous session, we have discussed about the different types of the organization, which is formal organization and informal organization. In the formal organization, we have discussed about the advantages of formal organization and disadvantages of formal organization. Today, we'll discuss about the informal organization, in which we'll discuss about introduction of informal organization, advantages of informal organization, as well as the disadvantages of informal organization. Let's get the idea about all these topics in detail. Let's start with the introduction part. Definition. It's a network of personal but social relation which is not established by the formal structure. Students, if you can recall that while we are discussing about the formal organization or the formal structure, we discussed that each and every individuals were assigned various jobs, they were given the certain authorities, they were given the certain responsibilities and accountability. Now, whenever a particular job positions are created, various responsibilities are assigned, it means the individuals have to work in a particular group. So, while working at this job positions, all the individuals they interact with each other regarding the official matters as well as they develop certain social and friendly groups in the organization because as they are interacting with each other for the official and formal work, there is a bonding between them which leads to the social and friendly environment in the organization, and with the formal discussions they also share certain informal or informations also. Now this network of social and friendly group is considered as the informal organization. This informal organization do not have any kind of the fixed rule and fixed line of communication and is flexible in all aspects. Like if we discuss that the commerce teachers is the example of the formal structure, and there would be HOD of the commerce. So that is the fixed person who is authorized for the communication and many other things. You cannot break this thing in the communication. So whenever you want to sanction anything, you have to go to the HOD. HOD will go to the vice principal sir, and then the principal sir will decide. So this is not a particular thing which can be broken. But in the informal organization, there are no rules, no fixed line of the communication. Like if you are the friends and in the group, if you decide to go to watch movie, then your friendship is the example of the informal communication, and in that there is no heads, there is no boss. You all decide mutually, or you leave it on a particular friend to decide that which movie should you all go to watch. Main motive of informal organization, that is simply to get the psychological satisfaction only. Formal organization, the group of commerce student, group of science student, group of humanities students, example of the formal. Whereas your friend circle, which includes the commerce students, science students, and humanities students, is the example of informal structure. Let's list the advantages of informal organization. Fast communication, fulfills social needs, correct feedback, and influences productivity. Let's discuss about all the advantages of informal structure in detail. First one, that is a fast communication. The communication process in informal structure is a very fast. Why? Because the informal structure do not follow any kind of this scalar chain and unity of command. So if you want to spread the message very faster, then this informal structure is the best suitable mode of communication. Students, you must be remembered that whenever there is any kind of the messages regarding the holiday or any circular regarding leave, so before it is circulated by the formal channel of authority, the group of students comes to know it and automatically it will be spread throughout the school through this informal structure only. So there is a faster spread of communication with the help of informal structure. Second thing, that is fulfills the social needs. Students, if you recall, in formal organization, one of the drawback was that it avoids or ignores the social needs of the workers. In this informal organization allows the like-minded people to form their own groups, and in that particular group they will discuss their problems, their issues which are in a common of interest. This facility will satisfy their social needs. It creates a special kind of the bonding with the other employees, and this will also help in developing the sense of belongingness to the organization, and all these things will enhance their job satisfaction. Whenever the job satisfaction of an employee increases, automatically the labor turnover ratio decreases, which is a positive sign of or development of any organization, because this leads to decrease in the cost, and as you studied in economics, as cost increases, the profit of the firm also increases. Advantages continue. Next one in the line is correct feedback. Whenever top level management or the higher managers wants to find out that whatever the policies or the plans which they have devised and implemented, then whether it will be accepted by the subordinates or not, to know all this thing, formal structure will never help. That is the informal structure which will help this top level managers or the higher officials to know the exact feedback of an employee on the different policies and plans devised by them. Because if a new policy is introduced by some top level managers, and if manager will ask the employees that what are your feedback, obviously the subordinate in front of the boss will always give the positive reply. But if the boss wants to find out the exact feedback, then this informal group is the best thing. Let's take one example. If principal has devised a new policy that there should be one extra hour for study in the school. Now, whether it is effective or not, if the principal wants to know and if he will ask the teachers, obviously they are the subordinate, so in front of boss they will say it is very good policy. If principal wants to know the correct feedback, then while walk with the students or during the games time, the principal will take the feedback from the students without making the students realize that principal sir is taking a feedback from that. In the discussion and interaction with the student, principal will ask that the new hour for the academics which is increased, whatever are your views, students are innocents, they will give their feedback instantly that after studying for continuously 8 hours, one extended hour of academic is of no use because they are totally exhausted. So this correct feedback can be received through this informal structure only. The final one, that is influences productivity. Students, under informal structure, the employees or the subordinates are forming their own groups, their own formalities, which creates a strong bonding amongst the employees of the department. Because of this, their social needs are satisfied and it gives the powerful and positive impact on the productivity as well as the job satisfaction. Now let us get the idea about the disadvantages of informal structure. Spreading rumors, no systematic working may bring negative results and more emphasis on individual interest rather on overall organizational interest. Disadvantage. First one, spreading rumors. Students, most of the informations, most of the interactions taking place in the informal structure are either humors or the rumors which are spread out of a jealousy or any other human senses. That is proved through one survey that according to a survey, 70% of the information spread through the informal organizational structure are rumors. This kind of the rumors may mislead the employees or the subordinates, or it can result in the spoilage of the relationship amongst the employees or between employees and the top level management. So this is the one of the largest disadvantage of informal structure. Second one, that there is no systematic working. If you remember, in the previous slides only, we have discussed that this informal structure is created out of the need to be socialized amongst the others, and this is not established by the formal line of authority or by following the formal channel of communication. So there is no systematic working in informal structure. So it leads to inefficiency or ineffectiveness amongst the employees, or there is no efficiency in the organization if it is purely based on informal structure. There is no smooth working of the organization because there is no systematic working in informal structure. Disadvantages continue. Next in the line is may bring negative result. Students, it becomes very difficult for the management to implement any kind of the new plans or policies into the organization if the informal organization opposes all these policies, plans or programs of the organization. We are not concerned whether these plans or programs are for the benefit of themselves or the organization. But due to some reason, if informal organization opposes the policies, then it cannot be implemented in the organization. If we take the example that if the school wants to prepone the unit test, but if the students oppose it, then it won't be possible for any educational institute to prepone their unit test if the schools or educational institute will use their veto power. Then quite possible these students or the unions will form their unity and they will not appear in the unit test. So this may bring the negative results in an organization. Next one, that is more emphasis on individual interest. Students, in the benefits itself, we have discussed that this informal structure gives more importance for the satisfaction of individual interest, which is very good as it increases the job satisfaction and the efficiency of the workers. But simultaneously, it also harms the organizational structure because sometimes employee may give more importance to the satisfaction of their individual interest compared to the overall interest of an organization, which may affect the productivity of the organization. Because if the productivity affected, if it decreases, then it decreases the overall profit of an organization. Let's discuss about the difference between formal and informal structure. The first basis, that is the formation. Formal organization structure is formed purposefully and in the planned manner, whereas informal structure gets created automatically without any kind of the plannings. Second one, that is the purpose. The purpose of the formal organizational structure, that is to work systematically and to achieve the organizational objectives. Whereas the purpose of informal sector, that is to simply get the psychological satisfaction. Now, when we discuss about the behavior of the members, then in the formal organizational structure, the behavior of the employee, that is decided by the managers, how they will work, in what manner they will work, what kind of the resources they will use. This everything will be decided by the managers. Whereas if we discuss the informal structure, then there is no control of the management over the behavior of the members. Sometimes it happens that the behavior of informal structure, if it brings a negative result for the management, then quite possible the management may interfere. Otherwise, management will not interfere in the functioning of informal. Next one, that is the structure. Now, The structure of the formal organization is well defined structure because it decides the job to be done, who will perform, where it will be performed, who is going to perform it. They follow the skeleton as well as the subordinate superior relationship will establish the structure. But if we discuss about the informal, then there is a no structure defined. There is a no fixed superior or the subordinate, and they do not follow any kind of this scalar chain or unity of command. Now, the next one, that is the communication. In the formal structure organization, each and every information passes through the scalar chain and the managers prefers to written channel for the communication because they can add or remove certain of the communication from there. So it follows the official channel of communication which maintains the unity of command. Whereas if we discuss about the informal structure, then there is a no path of passing of any kind of the information. The information can pass through any route, and most of the informations which takes place in the informal structure, that is oral based. There is no written communication passed in informal structure. Next one, that is the leadership. Now, as you know, that formal organization structure, there is a well-defined body of authority responsibility relationship. There is a direct relationship between the authority and leadership. So, in the formal structure, the person who has the highest authority is considered as the leader, and others are considered as the subordinates. And in the organizational structure, generally the managers act as leaders. If we talk about the informal structure, there is no relationship of authority and responsibility relationship. So we cannot establish the relationship between authority and leadership. The person with the lowest authority can be the leader, or the person without any authority can be also the leader of the group. That is the informal. Next one, that is the stability or the duration. The formal organization structure is more stable with the comparison of informal. It lasts for a longer period of time because once the particular organizational structure is formed, it exists till the survival of the organization. Whereas in the informal organization, the structure is not at all stable. The reason behind that, because there is no established structure, and the second thing, that employees can change their friendly and social groups whenever they desire or whenever they are not satisfied with the existing group. Next one, that is rules and regulations. In the formal organization structures, the employees have to strictly follow all the rules and regulations, and If they don't follow rules and regulations, then there is provision of the penalty on them. Whereas if we discuss about the informal structure, there is no existence of prescribed rules and regulations of the members. And if any member who is not following any kind of the procedure, then there is no penalty for them. Next one, that is interdependence. Students, in the formal structure, there is an interdependent structure which exists systematically after the organizing process gets over. Whereas in informal structure, there is no dependence amongst the members, but informal structure purely depends upon the formal organizational structure, because the existence of informal structure depends on the existence of formal. If there is no formal structure, there cannot be existence of informal structure. Students, you know your friends and you have made your group, that is the informal, but you have made the group of your friends because you met at the Rajkumar College, Rajkot, that is the formal. So informal structure depends on the formal structure only. The last on the list, that is flow of authority. In formal structure, the authority flows from the top to bottom, whereas in informal structure, the authority flows in each and every direction. These are the points of difference between the formal and informal structure. Let's have a quick discussion about what we have discussed in this session. We have discussed about what is informal structure. We have discussed about advantages of informal structure. We have discussed about the disadvantages of informal structure. And finally, we got the idea about the different points of differences between the formal and informal structure. It's a time for the assignment. An assignment for today, that is, give concept of informal structure, explain the advantages of informal structure, explain disadvantages of informal structure, and finally differentiate formal and informal structure. Now it's the time to say bye bye and thank you. Bye bye, dear students. Goodbye. I hope the concept which I tried to explain, you understood it. If you have any doubts, you can contact me. Try to solve all the assignments by yourself. Thank you very much. Stay home, stay safe, and keep learning. Consider this lockdown period as an opportunity to learn new things and make your foundation very strong. Thank you once again. Bye bye.